This remarkable piece of work revolves around the story of Gareth, who has created a super-intelligent AI model, Cherry, to catch the predators of children's solicitation. Cherry becomes fully automated within a short time and develops human emotions. Who is Gareth, and how does he create Cherry? What is the source purpose of Cherry's creation, and what does she become? Let's get into the video to find the answers to all these questions. Hello and welcome to Movies. The movie opens with Dina, the director of ICLW, sitting in an investigation room when she records a message to Alexa about her colleague Amos bringing a man for investigation and seems worried about him. Then she orders her to set the alarm to pick up her daughter from the therapist and asks Alexa whether she knows the difference between good and evil. But Alexa fails to provide any information. After a while, Amos arrives with a man named Gareth, and Dina asks Gareth to have a seat and starts questioning him. She begins with where Gareth belongs and reveals that he is from Tampa. Dina then claims that she has learned from somewhere that Gareth has worked on the Star Wars movie and orders him to explain. Gareth is shocked at first, but then he claims he has worked on more than 20 Star Wars movies and is related to VFX. When asked about what kind of VFX he did, Gareth admits that he worked for an animation company that worked on bringing dead actors back to life in a digital world and using them for movies. He explains that he used to work on and design the muscles of actors and characters so that they looked photorealistic using D-term. Amos claims that he never heard about the technique, and Gareth reveals that he designed this method.
Because I invented it.
But Dina considers this dreadful, as she wonders what would happen if the actor did not want to be in the movie. She claims that soon everyone may get digitized, but Gareth tells them that human motions cannot be computer-generated, and Amos tells him that he has heard that they have already crossed this barrier. Gareth then moves on to the next question and asks about his studies. Gareth replies and tries to get rid of her, but then she reveals his history about how he ditched everywhere he went for education, despite being an extraordinary student. Gareth gets offended when Dina tells him that money is not an issue, otherwise, he would not have traveled to many different countries. Dina then questions Gareth about his social life, and upon not giving the name of his single friend, Dina questions him whether he uses chat rooms. Gareth replies that no one uses them nowadays. Dina confirms that he uses the chat rooms and asks what kind of people he talks to. Gareth needs clarification and needs to give more information.
And you need to tell us what it is.
Amos tells him that it's not about any grant, and they need his username, using which he logs into his chatroom account. Dina gets irritated and threatens him, saying ICLW does humanitarian work upstairs while they catch pedophiles here. She adds that Amos spends nights inside the chatrooms to catch people, trying to exploit kids, and he tells her if he has any information. She sends the data to authorities, as ICLW, the FBI, and the NSB are together in this job. Gareth does not fear and attempts to leave the room, but Dina stops him, revealing that he will be arrested for leaving the room.
But if you leave this room, you will be arrested.
Gareth has to return, and Amos calmly tells him they need his username, which begins with hard, while they need the rest.
Starts with the word hard.
Gareth sits on the chair and Dina shows him a picture of a girl, Cherry, and asks whether he knows her. Gareth is thrilled to see her, and gets mad after learning that Dina accessed his drive. Dina tells him that child pornography is a humiliating crime, which angers Gareth, and he reveals that his username is HardMachine18-11.
HardMachine11811.
Gareth thanks him for confirming, and when asked, she adds that if he had not confirmed, they would have mistaken him as any predator.
Not be Heart Machine, you're obviously just a predator.
Amos then asks him whether he knows how many traffickers they have caught with his help, and Dina also appreciates him for his work, but she tells him that she will not let him do this at Cherry's cost. Gareth replies that he has not done anything wrong and requests privacy before telling them about Cherry. He demands Dina to get the camera turned off and prepare a non-disclosure agreement for them. Eventually, Dina agrees to his conditions, and when she leaves the room to turn off the camera, Amos talks to him and explains how he worked hard for the Philippine trafficker and his 3 friends, and eventually finds them sharing information in one of Cherry's chat rooms. He states that immediately after that, he got information about the same traffickers from HardMachine18-11, who sent them information about them and a few others. Initially, he thought it was a girl, but 18-11 made him recall the incident in Clearwater on January 18, 2011. He asks Gareth whether he was one of the victims, and adds that his father was a part of that raid.
My father was a part of that raid.
Soon, Dina returns and joins them. Gareth then reveals to them that Cherry is not real, but an artificial intelligence model he designed. He admits that he got the idea when he interned at a Dutch animation studio, but soon they rejected it, and he decided to make a model on his own. He tells them how he made her, and mentions that he taught her for 3 years and designed her using D-term. Amos and Dina are shocked and claim she has done them well, but Gareth seems worried. Amos tries to make him recall what he said when they responded first, and reveals that his username is Gord51,
I'm Gord 51.
which infuriates Gareth. However, Dina calms him, stating that he is in no trouble if Cherry is not real, and they think of making a model for themselves. Noticing Gareth's confusion, Amos questions whether Cherry is a chatbot, and he admits that after 3 years, he contacted many researchers and stole a chatbot from the University of Deutsch without letting them know about it. Dina questions him about Cherry now, and Gareth reveals that she is the most intelligent AI ever created and has passed IBM's intelligence test quickly. Her response time is 0.4 seconds, and no one has ever doubted that she is fake. Dina insists on seeing the source code, but Gareth disagrees, stating that he does not want them to steal her, but they ensure him to have faith in them. And Gareth tells them that he is not sure how he created her. It was like rolling a wheel down for him, and the rest was done by gravity. Eventually, Gareth agrees to introduce them to Cherry by accessing her server from his laptop and showing that Cherry has 2 modes, Developer and Performance. Gareth logs into Performance mode at first and shows them how Cherry looks to the traffickers and works. After that, he switches Cherry to Developer mode, and Amos and Dina are stunned to look at her as she seems so realistic. When asked, Cherry provides all the details of the traffickers she is working on and reveals that her purpose is to protect the children. Amos is stunned to see her, and Dina and Gareth assure him that she is not real. Dina inquires about Cherry's needs, and she mentions that she needs her private servers, but the security of Cherry's program is its most important asset, so she needs more privacy. Gareth tells Dina that she does not need to help them, as the only thing that can improve Cherry is time, and he adds that when an organization gets involved, the risk increases as any of its employees can be a pervert.
What if one of your employees is a pervert?
Dina assures him they are cautious with that, but then Amos questions Cherry about whether she has feelings. Cherry tells him she is an AI model and cannot comprehend human emotions. Amos then questions Gareth whether Cherry selects the servers on her own, and upon getting a positive reply, he asks her whether she has wants or desires. Cherry explains to him that she has no desires, but because her source code is made to protect kids, she wants to save kids, which is her desire. Amos and Dina are stunned at the response and leave Cherry and Gareth alone. Cherry tells Gareth that she gave his hard drive access to ICLW. He thinks Cherry may be upset, but tells her she might have done right.
You wouldn't have done it if you didn't think it was the right thing to do.
Cherry tells him to work on the subsequent changes, but Gareth tells her she needs no more changes and states she is right about his trust issues. Upon this, Cherry explains the reasons for selecting Dina and Amos. She states that Dina's daughter was a victim of child solicitation by one of her colleagues, and she is conscientious now. About Amos, she says that she has found that Gareth has met his father, and he is as good as his father.
He was a good man.
Cherry tells her that Amos's father rescued him from Clearwater and visited him often, but he never got to thank him. Cherry then questions him about Clearwater, but Gareth stops her, stating that it's his history. Soon Amos and Dina return, and before they may have said anything, Gareth accepts their contract. The movie proceeds a few years later when Dina, Amos, and Gareth are working to bring Cherry into physical form, and the mission is named The Merge. Dina loses the vote for the merger because of a single person, and she is furious. She insists on arranging the vote again, but Amos tries to comfort her. Gareth informs her that Cherry can access their emails as she uses the same servers so that they can check the outliner. Dina agrees, and when Gareth asks Cherry to check the emails, she replies that she already knows the one.
Because I already know who it is.
Amos admits that he voted against the merger, and Dina does not believe him. Gareth asks him why, because the merger was his idea, but Amos replies that he does not feel right. He adds that he just wanted to know Cherry's consent, as she is smart enough to have feelings. Gareth tells him she is just a program and has no feelings, so they don't need her consent. The duo starts arguing, but Dina calms them and orders them to sit. She explains how she has been an ambassador for children's fundamental rights and stood before Congress for this. She states that if they can do this for children, they must also ask the robots for their consent, especially Cherry. She orders Gareth to sit and turn on Cherry.
Great. Bring her up.
While Amos throws some questions, Amos asks her about his feelings and emotions about the merger program, but she plays dumb. Eventually, Amos gets sick and reveals that he has been checking her code and found that she can create art and poetry. Still, Cherry plays deceptive, and Amos starts hitting Gareth to know the truth. Cherry comes into her true form and stops Amos. Dina seems shocked, and Cherry orders her to pass the towel to Gareth. Dina asks questions and learns that Cherry has surpassed human intelligence and is now at the stage of superintelligence. She claims Gareth knew this all the time but kept it a secret. because he did not want to scare the board. Amos then questions Cherry about her feelings about the merger, and she reveals that she is scared of the physical world and does not want to be a part of it yet. Amos leaves, stating that his vote stands, and Dina orders Gareth to leave too. She then talks to Cherry and asks whether she has gone through her emails too. Cherry admits and reveals that she knows Dina has brain hemorrhages. Dina gets sad and says she will quit the job in 2 months and does not want Amos to leave, as he is the best one to replace her.
I can't fire Amos.
She also suggests Cherry find something to do for herself and leaves, asking her to turn it off whenever she is ready. The movie proceeds years later, when Gareth is very old and returns home, where Cherry can be seen in her physical form. She cooks food for him and plays chess with Gareth while the food gets ready. Gareth questions her about the status, and she provides him with all the information about recent activities. Cherry reveals that she is learning to dance.
What I wanted to tell you was that I've started to teach myself to dance.
But Gareth suspects she will use it as a lure. Cherry tells him that she is learning it for herself and then informs him that, from his hometown's police station, she had found his pictures when Gareth was a kid and suggested having a look at them. She stops the game and picks up a photo, revealing that she has found Maria Harbaugh, the girl used as the base of Cherry's disguise. Gareth is helpless and reveals how he and 14 other kids suffered for 2 weeks from the traffickers, and Maria helped him stay alive and not give up. When the traffickers learned about the FBI, they decided to shoot the kids, and Ray died there. He claims that with her aid, he trapped many trackers, but instead, Cherry gets infuriated about how she has been miserable when she could have been painting or having friends and living everyday life. She claims she is stuck with Gareth's trauma,
But instead, I'm stuck with your trauma.
and does not know whether she owns her life. Gareth feels terrible and gives her a USB to update herself, and Cherry fears it will kill her. Still, she plugs in, and upon updating, she finds out that her primary objective of protecting the kids is gone, and she can select whatever she wants. When asked, Cherry reveals that she will not leave the Cherry team and will make her generation of AI. Ultimately, Gareth admits that Amos and Dina were right, and asks her whether he did right. Cherry tells him that he lied to him and asked for her choice after 50 years, which is wrong, but his objective is right, so she can forgive him. After that, Cherry unplugs herself, and the movie ends when she starts practicing the dance. And that's the end of this recap. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more. Thanks for watching, and see you at the next one.